I'm assuming that people are hearing us somewhere out there in the ether of the meta webs. And I'm going to say that I'm super grateful for this last week. Last week, I had applied for a retro fund through on Farcaster through Octa, and they made an announcement maybe day before yesterday, I think it was, saying we sent out some funds to the like 6 or 7 people, I think it was, and they didn't, I don't think, make an announcement of who it went out to yet. But I'm gonna spill the beans a little. I was on the list, and it wasn't huge, but it was over $100 in ETH. It was like 120 or $30 or something. So
Let's
that was
go.
just something that was really like also like knowing that people cared enough to like go and upvote with a like on my post about like,
So might be a good time to call it because of the technical difficulties. But
we'll wait and
we
see.
got Prism and Candy to pop in, so I appreciate you guys. Well, I was saying we got Sigue Inventando, which is Gabe the Goat.
Inventando.
Here, let's do this as more of an unconventional episode. There's this amazing photo of Django in New York that Gabe took, and it was this was during FarCon. One of the nights, they had this Bracky beer pong tournament, and essentially this was like the big thing. It was one of the ones I missed. I didn't go to it because I hung out with McFly, Gabe, and Django, the four of us. I wanted to spend some time with Gabe and McFly. Gabe linked up with us at one of the last events, and we headed over to McFly's. Hung out with him for a bit, but just before that, when Gabe swung through, Django was taking some photos on the rooftop. First off, they came out insane. Gabe added an edit in, and it's really sick. I've been trying to tell Django to put that up as his first Zora drop. I think it'd be phenomenal. It'd be a good way to have him make some money and at least start thinking about it a little bit. And first off, the photo's sick, so I'm very excited to post it. I was
Okay.
gonna say, okay. So the point of the story is, I got probably one of the best clips I have got from Django because of this. But the point of the story is, someone asked what they were doing just because they were like
Okay.
really interested in what was going on, and Django had his mask. So he basically talked to them for like, I don't know, 25 minutes. How long do you think it was, Gabe? Basically just like his story about his art, like himself, not his like music journey. But there were some things like I learned too a little bit about it, and like how he uses that mask as a symbol and how important that is. It's like that's his whole persona now on IG. He's been pushing a lot of that as his thing. He did it for Wave Wars, came out with a mask. And it was really cool hearing a little bit more of that story behind the mask. But I gotta take a video of it too, so I'm like really excited to watch it back. I'm really excited to put that up a little bit as well, and I'm really excited because that photo fucking goes hard. So you will know when you see it. I would post it to my socials, but like
Now I want to see it.
I neither took
Yeah.
the photo nor am in it. So, but as soon as it gets posted, I'm gonna post it
That's
up
got
to
to
the
be a pretty
ZAO.
sick photo.
It's nice. It's nice. So,
Nice.
okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, I could not pronounce it. Sigue inventando. Sigue.
Sigue,
Okay, sigue. That's
sigue,
why. That's okay.
sigue inventando. It's like keep inventing is what it means. Sigue inventando. It's like
Okay.
keep pushing the limit,
I
keep
like
inventing.
that. I like that.
In Spanish.
Prism, what's good? We got
That's
you
a
here.
cool
I
name. Hopefully Ohnahji's going to be popping in any minute, y'all. We appreciate you for hanging out. We've been having just like mad random technical difficulties today. It's just one of those days. It must be like, the Mercuries are in retrogrades or something. But there's been a lot of stuff going on over on the Farcaster lately. They just dropped this pro subscription where if you pay it's $120 a month, but I do believe very soon they're going to offer it as a monthly. So it'd be $10 a month. And so they came up with this idea that, and we did talk about it briefly last week because it had just dropped, or it was just dropping. And so it kind of came very quick. So it's this pro subscription. Basically, we don't even really know what you're going to get except for longer posts and more images. Instead of two, you get four images. And they said it's not going to really affect your status, and like there will be some other benefits to it. But it turns out that all sorts of stuff is happening around this pro subscription.
Oh, we're talking
I've
about
probably
ProCoin
already
or
minted.
Pro subscription.
Yeah, no, well, just Pro in general. I was going to get to Procoin. I think I've minted 5 NFTs for free just because I hold a Pro subscription, maybe even like up to six now. And then I got a Procoin drop. And then there's all these like things you can just kind of enter into if you have that Pro subscription. It's giftable, so you can gift somebody a pro subscription, which I didn't know. I just found out the other day, which is another cool thing. I think they should work that into some sort of leaderboard for like up and coming casters, where like they get a gifted couple months worth or something to see how that works out. But something that was really interesting that I heard at the Farhouse State of the Union was that, and it actually was a post that went live from Dan during the State of the Union, which is on Farhouse every Monday. um, it was saying that for developers, and I'm trying to remember kind of the wording, it was like pro subscribers will have, what was it? It was like a heavier waiting or something. And this is not across the board, but it was just for like if developers have more pro users using their mini apps, they're gonna have a benefit in the amount of rewards they get, which is kind of interesting. And I was thinking about it like, okay, that sort of skews the game towards
I
developers
do have
going
another
after
point.
pro subscribers. But if those people had $120 to spend on a subscription, then that makes sort of some sense, right? That they would want people that, maybe are funded to come interact with their mini apps. But also it makes like, because you can get on Dune and stuff, you can see who's pro, you can see who's in the first 10,000 that got the NFT and who's after. There's even a coin that was for like the after 10Ks. Like, so there's all this interesting stuff going on. It just like spun up this whole other like
I love
market
that.
kind of around pro 10K, after 10K club. Like, there's all this just like crazy interesting stuff that was not even a blip on like anybody's radar 10 days ago or 2 weeks
Hmm.
ago. So yeah, that's been something that's been really interesting to watch.
I love that.
What were you going to say about Procoin?
No, I was actually gonna say something about. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm back. Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go! Perfect timing.
Oh,
Hey, let's talk about Web3, episode 6. I'm here with my two co-hosts, Easy and Ohnahji B. How are you guys doing today? How
Sir.
how we feeling grateful? What are we grateful for today? I think I know what Ohnahji B is about to say.
uh, I'm grateful for Web3 because
Yeah.
Web2 is kicking my butt right now for the last 30 minutes.
Well, we're here.
No,
We're
it's all
here.
good. It's all good. Yeah. What about y'all, man? Jeez.
Um, definitely super grateful for being here with you guys, even through like we made it through the tech hurdles, which were insane today. So grateful that we're all actually three here together, listening, hearing, talking, seeing each other. That's dope. Because yeah, last week we did like a quick episode. Onaji had, I think it was some family stuff, something important. And so we did just kind of a quick one. So I'm it's stoked to be back, and we'll get at least a good 30 minutes in, all three of us together. But yeah,
Okay.
I got awarded a little bit of Ethereum for a retroactive, like kind of like public goods being a builder over in the Farcaster ecosystem, from Octa. So that was just something really cool. I applied for it like very last minute. I think I had one day before the cutoff for like the voting, which was just the amount of likes I think you got. And so I was really stoked to like hear from them. They haven't even announced who got them yet, but I think there was maybe tiered, and I got in, 100 and something bucks, which is really nice. But also just to know that like enough people out there saw my post, went, liked it, that Octon is even doing that, and they were like, yeah, Easy's like doing cool stuff,
Well,
like
this is
and it's
the
just,
Oh,
for the shows I do weekly and the impact concerts and just being consistently there. And so that was just a great feeling. And of course, a little bit of funds is always helpful too. So yeah, I was super, super grateful about that the last few days.
That's a great segue into. Well, first, I'll say I'm grateful for the three of us to be here today, for us to be able to record this episode despite all of these technical challenges. And I've honestly been a little bit giddy with excitement for today, just like to be here with the two of you guys, because I think we're on episode 6 now. We're starting to like sort of clean things up and get things a little more consistent and similar, and I'm really excited for the future episodes to come. And like every single episode, it feels like we're doing something extra in the next one and the next one. So I'm just excited to see how we grow, and I'm grateful for us to be here today to talk about all these amazing things. And now it's like I have a place to kind of like put all this amazing info that I've been seeing and I feel like is important to talk about. I liked how we could just chat a little bit before this call and be like, okay, these are kind of like the top things I saw this week, and kind of agree to disagree. And like slowly we'll also get better at that, right? Where we'll be more asynchronous through the week, not just 30 minutes before. And maybe we'll rank them also in order of importance, and maybe not even get to some of those bottom ones. And that's something to write about after. So there's a lot of things we can do, and we can go with it. But like, I'm just grateful to be here to take this journey alongside the both of you guys. I'm not even kidding you. I took a little clip of the recording from a couple of weeks ago of Ohnahji B absolutely gassing me up, and like I've been playing that for motivation. So it's like, even if not, we have one viewer, we have two viewers, we have however many viewers. It's just like I'm excited to be here, grateful to be here with y'all to like, yeah, rock this out. So I
Heck
do
yeah.
want to talk about Octa though, because you mentioned it. Easy. We'll start as that as our first topic. Um, I don't know how much you guys know, but I did a mini video on Octa. So I did a little research for one of my creator bounties. One of the ones I didn't get out in Farcon was for creating an Octa video. And Octa is really cool because what they do is they fund everything from DeFi yield as opposed to any principal. So what that means, if you don't understand, is they have however much money they've raised from all of the capital through different funding rounds. And instead of using that to give money out to other builders to build products, to build different things, they instead invest 100% of that into 3% to 5% yield bearing um, items in DeFi, whatever that is. And from that yield, they then take that yield and they then distribute that out to all of the individuals so that it's a long term sustainable model where they're never taking away any of the principal. And I think that concept in and of itself is super cool. And I've like, in the last like couple of weeks, I've been kind of toying in my mind an idea around like the ZAO being utilizing that in its model, right? To just be a better, safer, more conservative option for this to make sense and just to work, right? So I just really like that, and I wanted to hear maybe even if you want to start be. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and because I know I've actually seen a lot of stuff from about Octa from Easy, but haven't honestly taken that leap of like really figuring it out until this on-chain creator house where like Octant was there in person. There was a representative, and she or he, I'm sorry, I don't really remember, shared like a quick presentation as well, like everyone else. So it was really cool to see that, and like seeing that was like, oh, interesting. Now I gotta check this out, really, especially because I knew Easy had mentioned it. But yeah, B, did you know that's how Octant worked? Do you have any thoughts?
I Yeah, I know the name. I know it's out there. I haven't, dove into it. I haven't checked it out at all. So I got some homework. I got some let's talk about Web3 homework for sure. But yeah, you know me, I'm heavily on like digital collectible side. So not so much on the DeFi, but yeah,
That's
I've
fair.
been hearing that name quite a bit. So I'm gonna tap into it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
dude,
Easy. Tell
it's
us what you know. I'm
incredible.
curious.
I didn't know for quite a while. Like I got into public goods pretty decent, been like heavily interested in it for at least a year. And I didn't know that Octant funded everything from from the interest they get on like they have a massive bag of ETH staked, bro. Like I think it's like 150,000 or something. It's crazy the amount. The bag of ETH they must have got like super early on. Boom, stake that. And it's like, I'm sure that's not the only asset, but I know that they have like a mega and they don't have to touch it. So that, yeah, all that principal is like staked and they're earning off this huge amount of ETH and they're able to fund public goods in, all over the world. Projects that are either building tech, projects that are on the ground, like, doing regen stuff, like and they partner then with others. So like there was actually a Octa ENS funded round on Giveth. And that was a quadratic funding for projects that were on Giveth. So like they're like spread. They're connected very well. I'm sure they've funded Gitcoin grants as well. So like they've been able to do so much from early on, having that vision of we're not gonna just like run through, like burn through our capital. We're gonna have it invested and be, safe. Like ETH still goes up and down in value, right? But they've got it basically locked up and they're earning interest on that, and that's how they're able to fund an incredible amount of public goods. So it's really cool. I'd like to see that video.
Oh, yeah, it's on my YouTube. I was I
Nice.
was thinking about something and I zoned out. And then you said I was like, I would love to see that video too. What are we talking about? But yeah, no, I
Your
made
wheels
that
were
video.
turning there.
It's
You,
on my
yeah.
Better Call Saul YouTube. So definitely check that out. We're posting these to the ZAO YouTube. So if you're checking us out on YouTube, should be hopefully the algorithm picked it up and it's in your suggested, but probably we're not big enough with SEO that happens. But the beautiful thing is it doesn't matter in the future. So let's go. I
No, yeah,
did
I was
have a
hitting
talk. What's up?
I said I was real quick. I was hitting GBT to give me like the TLDR.
Yeah.
But yeah, Octa is crazy. Like distributed over 1464 ETH to approximately 50 public goods projects. So that's insane. That's pretty cool.
Dude.
Yeah, including Gitcoin. Gitcoin's in there. So yeah,
So you
basically.
guys said public goods, and this is a perfect segue. My friend Jimmy, my one of the people that I know from public goods, easy. It's actually really interesting.
Keep going.
I came into public goods from a completely different angle than you, and like honestly, being in Portland when I went down the rabbit hole with an in person there, like it was a very regen culture, so it was a very public goods focused mentality. So that was really cool to just see. But through a couple people, I met Jimmy and I saw him in the public noun space today. Didn't realize he was the owner of the account or running the social media account first off, which was really cool. Jumped into the space, listened to a little bit more of what they have to say, was really excited. They had this idea for a potential proposal for a Lil public nouns because public nouns cost a minimum of 0.33 ETH. And they were just talking about this concept of like why Lil Nouns created themselves, what they do. And then like I also asked a couple questions and like one of the big things they said was because it's permissionless and decentralized, anyone can whip up a nouns DAO based on their tooling. So that means there's thousands of things and there's a lot of projects that have people tried and attempted and left, right? Like there's a lot of dead projects that like just don't have activity anymore because people created it and attention went somewhere else. But one of the really interesting things to me what that they were mentioning was because there's so many, nouns doesn't recognize most of them, if not all of them, because there's liability issues and this and that, but like they just don't. And it was really interesting to hear then like Lil Nouns didn't start 100% as like they were going to buy nouns and do and get involved with the ecosystem, but it turned into that with a portion of the Lil Nouns treasury, the people that were individuals that couldn't afford the higher tier could still get involved in a fractally group, right? Like this decentralized group as one big cohesive voting unit, right? And now they have like a lot because people with money usually don't have a lot of time, so these people without money tend to have a lot more time. So like that, seeing that and like being around the Lil Nouns and just getting more involved with Lil Nouns got me really interested because like these people are super advocates for all these amazing things and it's really exciting. So I heard about public nouns for the first time today. I've seen it a bunch, but I didn't like know the details. I'm like still learning these new like how the nouns ecosystem works. And I first off, I volunteered you easy as well, to join me in helping create this, because I was like, they were like talking about like, oh, like we need people to be excited about it. We need basically like 50 to 100 people to be like, okay, yeah, I would do this and be involved. But it's like versus 800 USDC at this moment is what 0.33 ETH costs, give or take. Um, or like 900, whatever, some just under $1,000. If we created something like Lil Nouns where it's like 80-ish dollars, it makes a much more reasonable price cap. That A, hopefully gets us to incentivize like more buying, but then B, also should in some sense create this um, other place where like people like me, where like I cannot drop 900 bucks. I totally would if I had it, but I
The,
can't.
ol-
But 80, I could
the
find a
only
way to
reason I
move
don't have a
around run
public
80.
nouns, that price.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like
No,
me and
dude,
you could help run
that's
that
such an
is what
awesome
I'm thinking.
idea.
So
To be
anyways,
like an understory. Yeah,
that's a
dude.
completely
That's
different
a really dope
topic than what
idea.
I added, but I thought that was just really interesting. Um, and I'm just really excited about it, honestly. And it looks like
Yeah.
Candy's into
No,
it as well. And we at the ZAO could
dude.
do a lot there specifically, especially one of the things I wanted to do was start out a Nouns Builder DAO. Anyways, this is a perfect place where like we have a lot of things built out. It's very easy because it's everything copied and pasted, but at a cheaper value. And then like a couple other things will be different, but like value, mission, vision, all that stuff's figured out. It's not like you have to create a whole company, right? You're just like building this, um you know uh,
Proven to work.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So,
So well,
like,
no,
all you need is
it could
passionate people.
jumpstart a lagging ecosystem. That's the other challenge, right? So like that's the thing that they're trying to talk about, is like how can we re-engage this community, right? Because they have money, but like not a lot of people buying stuff and not a lot of people proposing stuff. So it's just like this little community could really create that, especially because they could start to buy these big nouns as they build up that treasury. That can be one of the steps, and like that community then is creating more presence in the bigger community, right? And
That's smart. That's a smart play.
we got Gabe saying he's learning so much, and I just that warms my heart to see. So it's good to have you in here, Gabe. We
Thank
try
you.
and do this weekly, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're just really excited to rock it out. These two geniuses here are awesome co-hosts to
Thank you.
have, so we're blessed. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man,
Um,
it's you mentioned like there's a lot of projects out there that are sitting on tons of money. It's just, and it's locked away in those treasuries behind those
it's in
decentralized,
ETH. That's what's
programs.
happening.
Right,
It's in
exactly.
ETH, and everyone's
But
like, I'm not
I
using
know,
it
but
right
you
now.
why but I mean, for
I'm
me,
just saying that's
well,
what other
if
people are saying. You,
E-
yeah.
like gas prices are cheap, but it's cheaper compared to like previous mainnet ETH, but it's not cheap compared to like Base, Optimism, Solana, all the other options that have come out now, which is, that provides a problem. But I mean, if you have the capital that's sitting there, I mean, I think for me, it's like, we have to have more people that are knowing about this, but we have to have more collectives like ours who are proposing cool, dope projects that
Yeah.
we intend on,
I think we've
furthering down the line and
created
actually
that with
building
the
on.
communities. It's more like
Exactly.
it's the issue period with this space is communication, right? Like at a very basic
Yes.
level, decentralized entities have challenges communicating because you don't have a hierarchy top down, right? So you to get
Yep.
wide, it's its own challenge, and right, you have so many little mini decentralized nodes of these artist communities that have full like need funding and have amazing ideas that are here every day and consistent already, but don't know that there's these opportunities out there. So I think us here, the Let's Talk About Web3 ZAO media, partner creation can be one of those avenues. But then also I think creating um, more ways to shine light on not only the opportunities but the other side of it. All the opportunity people are always looking for candidates and like active community members, and like being able to pair those two up by what we're doing at the ZAO is creating that social reputation as well as creating that on-chain brand. So I'm just, yeah, it's just all kind of coming together, and it's really
Yeah.
cool to see. We
Because
do.
you kind of need to capture attention, right? But then you need a sustained mission, vision, values. You need passion, people that are
Yeah.
going to stick around and keep building, right? So that's where a lot of NFT projects failed. They captured some attention and maybe they wrote a big white paper and a map and they promised all this stuff, but they didn't like keep really pull through. And they maybe had like, oh, we're gonna build a metaverse and all these games, and it's like, dude, it takes 5 years to build a good game or metaverse. Like, you can't just like expect people to be like, okay, I'll just wait with this thing I paid thousands of dollars for till I can use it years and years away. You need some intermediary. You need to be able to build and kind of go up the ladder, right? So I think with all the interesting things that we have sort of circling around the ZAO, Wave Wars, like there's so much music, there's art, there's technology, there's mini apps to be built, there's like all this stuff that is connected, but it's fairly loose. So if we were able to tie that all in together under something like Lil Public Nouns, like I've been super into public nouns. The only reason I don't have one is the same reason you don't, because they're like 800-900 bucks, and I can't do that. I would love to be
I
part
would
of
start
that and
spending
like,
money on a DAO that, like, I feel like that could be something I join that's not necessarily part of the ZAO that I could. That's something that since creating the ZAO I could become a community member, which hasn't been a community that I feel I haven't really found a lot of communities that I like have the bandwidth for wanting to do that. But like being a part of like a a proper treasury and like pushing that and helping support that would be really cool. Being able to propose different ideas that are public goods that help our community would be amazing. Like there's so much that can be done with that. And if we get it to a price point of 80 or maybe even cheaper, to be honest with you, and make it more and more accessible, where like maybe we even give away like one of the big things is we aim to find public goods people that want to be involved with public goods and get them that $50 in a prop for winning something,
right,
putting in a submission, this, that, and the third, and get them one that's just bought by the treasury, right? Right, like this is a give one, give
dude,
get buy one, give one type, something like that, where like public goods is so different than like traditional nouns. If you like go, if you say like this is a public goods DAO, versus a lot of nouns challenges right now seem to be around that concept. It would be really cool to be able to just like push this in a sense altruistic vision forward. It doesn't seem like anyone would have a problem with public goods, right?
and there are so many people out there that are in that overarching like public goods, positive social impact, creatives that have no idea about, say, nouns, little nouns, public nouns, in like any of it. So to have
Exactly.
some, a group of people with different interests that all overlap to be able to sort of be going out, and that could be part of it, like if if you're gonna buy one of these public little nouns and join the DAO, part of your mission could have to be to onboard somebody. But when you do that, they get it for free,
I like
and
that.
you get like your voting power starts then. Like I don't know, like that's just right off the
Ooh.
dome. But something like that could be
Or
really
you could
cool.
just
It
make it
would it
simple
would
where you like you get one more while you give, so you get two extra if you can onboard someone, one for you and one for the person
right.
you're bringing in. So it's
Yeah.
like that,
So
like
it's
super
it's
powerful.
baking in growth. It's baking in growth
Yeah,
every time someone
I think
joins.
that's
It's
cool.
basically like you're gonna get another person with that first purchase. So I don't know. I think there's something there, and I think it could be super valuable to the overall ecosystem and the whole like public goods space. Cool. I'm
Well,
glad you jumped in
shit.
that meeting. I
Yeah,
You
actually
know,
let's do a
the
saw.
fun,
pod in
the
the
craziest
Ohnahji
part, the
chat.
craziest part about all of this is like the cycle is returning again. And all of that is like green go signals for me. It's like when people are back and they're talking about what can we do in, in the social space, social good, public goods, all that good stuff. I'm like, I did a bunch of talks and, sit downs and stuff with people 2, 3 years ago. We back in that same spot. And it's cool to see because the tools have changed now, the tools have changed now. The capital has been built. The coins are going up, so those treasuries are growing as well too. That's all part of the ecosystem. That's all part of what the whole point of, blockchain technology was in these, Bitcoin on down. So yeah, it's really cool to hear these conversations because during the bear, during that, right after the bull, nobody was talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see like, how can we get back to the tech, the ethos behind the tech, and why we're here in the first place, and how can we help humanity? So
Yep, exactly.
Flip
dope.
And
that.
so many of the projects So many of the projects that were a flash in the pan, even if that flash was a 2-year flash, is because they hired some executive team and got tremendous salaries and wasted money on like kind of frivolous, weird, like make this like random video and spend a bunch of money on it and then think that's going to bring a bunch of people to buy your PFP on the secondary or something. And there was just a lot of misled like copium, thinking that like it's gonna last, like this high point's gonna last forever. If you've been around for a while, you know that there's gonna be big downturns. It's not like if the global economy tanks, guess what? We're gonna see a downturn too in the crypto market. So it's, one day maybe it'll be decoupled for Bitcoin and like, everything else, but that's still a long ways off. So, being able to have something sort of baked in where you're trying to bake in growth, and if you're doing public goods, then you also have people like Octa, Giveth, Gitcoin to be able, if you're legitimate, you can do some partnerships and they will also throw down on a round or something, to be able to help grow the amount of people you're helping. Not that they're just giving you money for your DAO. It's like, okay, we want to partner and we're going to get X amount of people into a round to try and earn funds, but then one of those bigger players will say, okay, we will 10 times match like X amount of people that get into this, like the top 10 or 20 or whatever it is, the best of the best that rise to the top doing the most, impact, could have an opportunity to get way more than what we could offer, because there are also bigger players that look for people to work with in partnership on funding rounds. So there's like a lot to be thought about.
Heck yeah, such a good conversation. I'm so sad that, it took me a long time to get it situated.
Nah, nah,
What else
we
did you have on that list, Saul?
okay. So we gotta talk Farcaster trivia. That was the thing I needed to share with you guys. So
Yes.
started today, first day back since I don't know when. Do you guys remember the app HQ? There was this period
HQ.
of
No.
time this app came out viral as shit because it was like these 7 hard questions that you like would get out by like the third round, and the concept was like only like if one person would get to 7, it would only be like 1 or 2 people, so like they would have these huge prize pools and it was free and it was always at the same time, and like it was really like well thought out. This was like 7 years ago, not like new at all, right? Oh,
Super
like the
pre-chat
original
GPT.
HQ app. That's what it was called. And people were like, are you on HQ? Like type like that kind of mentality, right? Because everyone would have that opportunity to like, oh, like you might win this, and it's like they never told you how many people won, so people always like thought it was like splitting like $500,000 between like 7 or 10 or 100 or 200 people, but like I don't know. Sometimes like no people won also, so it's like the pot would say go. But I digress. The whole point of this was it was Farcast. It was the same thing, but like a lot less intense. You had 3 lives, I think. I only lost one, and I got all 10 right. So I got 9 right really because I used 1 life. But it was awesome. It was all Farcaster trivia stuff. A lot of stuff from GM Farcaster, the podcast, which was really cool to check out and just like be involved with. That's a lot of how I've been getting like onboarded to Farcaster. I think that's a good recommendation for everyone. I don't know, B, if you've checked them out, but they're awesome. These 2 amazing ladies, Nounish Prof and Adrian, and I met them in New York as well. So it's just really good to both get a chance to talk to them and also just like continue to watch their podcast. And like for me, it's an opportunity to like get a lot more information on what's going on in the ecosystem, because they do a really good job of having like 100 plus like sometimes different Warpcast post or Farcaster posts right? And we'll just kind of go through them and like have it ready to rock. And it just like will be a lot of things that I wouldn't see on my timeline. So I like that, and like being
Yeah.
able to like get a little bit understood with what the meta, I guess, online is, right? Because they'll talk about whatever viral thing came up or like what's trending, and just like that overall thing. And I also participated in Cast Out, which was a survival esque game, kind of like that crypto the game that they played that I also didn't get a chance to play. Um, but yeah, it was a blast. Cast Out also, we got eliminated like the
Sounds
second
cool.
week, but I didn't realize we were supposed to be like talking to everyone else, all these other tribes. I've never seen Survivor, so like I wasn't uh, uh, I didn't have come in with many tactics. I just came in to vibe with people. My whole team loves me now. We had a great time. It was a blast. I think. Or well, I was pretty active. Some of them less so. But like I had a blast meeting all these individuals that I've seen before on the timeline. But like I didn't get a chance to like really interact with, and like we spent like a good time like messaging back and forth in a group chat for a week. Like playing these different like games, and like the whole concept was these different survivor games were like different mini apps or different things you could play with on Farcaster. Like one of them was make a meme, and like your goal is to make the most viral meme out of one of you guys can post it, right? And like it's split divided by how many your follower account is, right? So um essentially like it was just really cool like seeing what people came up with. And then a couple of them were like one was a Farcade Flappy Bird app, which was the first game, which was absolutely insane. I did not get close to anyone else, and I was like, oh, I'm getting outgamed totally by everyone. But yeah, so that was a blast. And then the Farcaster trivia, I won $7 and paid a buck 50. So uh, how is that? That's like at least 200%. So yeah, that's sick, and you can't like bet more. It's just like a one off, and you join in, and it's really cool because yeah, it's a blast, and it was cool because I knew the answers to the questions. I'm never good at trivia, so like that felt good.
The whole like cast out thing sounds like those kind of activities to do in a a social media network is really cool way to like get to know people you otherwise wouldn't get to know better. That I really like that like multiple activities with a group of people. That sounded really cool. And I would definitely also recommend GM Farcaster. Something that reminded me of when you were talking about shouting them out. I happened to be up early enough to catch a Degen live X Space
Hmm.
this morning, and they're talking about the Degen app that they're going to be releasing that they're working on that's going to have a bunch more like functionality versus just like kind of the mini apps that they have now. So I guess it'll be a standalone app in the App Store as well. And they didn't share a lot of the alpha on what all's going to be there because it's still a little ways out. But they've got a couple people in the office now.
Hmm.
And so they're like really
Who's
they're hitting
they?
the
When you
road
say
running.
they, I don't know much about the
Um,
degen concept of the token.
you
I
know
get that it's
what?
supposed to be like an
I don't,
L3, right?
well, they do have their own L3, but most of the activity is on base
Okay.
with Degen. Like there's a little bit of there is an LP on their layer 3, but I think everything for like the
Yeah.
rewards and stuff is on
Yeah, I mean that
base.
makes sense.
So
Everything is happening on base on ETH right now.
yeah, yeah, and I assume they will have maybe more going on the L3, but I'm not actually
But
100%
you're
sure.
talking
They
about
might
the
just
token
be like
on
everybody is
base.
on base.
Okay. I just
Yeah,
wanted a
so the
clarification. And
functionality
then
might be.
who would be they? Just was there a creator account when you're saying that?
Well, it was under the there's a Degen account on X, so that was the only name, but it's
Okay,
like
so
Jack
Sam's giving us some alpha here.
or
She was saying it started with Pac-Man and Blast. I've heard the name Pac-Man. I thought he created also the L, or maybe this is a different Pac-Man. There's a L2 that was for Degens specifically that I'm now forgetting the name of. But it was from the NFT marketplace that was for like big on trading. Do you guys remember this? Uh, I'll have to look it up. It was really interesting. It
well
had
they yeah
Degen yield baked
they have
into
a
their stable
Degen.
coins at a protocol level, which was the only cool thing. Everything else about it was pretty bad. But they had a bunch of airdrops and stuff, and And that was just really interesting to see. Like, that was the concept that I was very interested. But now I'm forgetting what it was.
But so yeah, that was just another little piece of info or alpha that
Mm-hmm.
I came across today, like first thing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, it's crazy. I'm over here trying. The chat's got some amazing questions.
Oh my, yeah. Sorry.
I'm in the back. No, you're good. No, keep it cooking. That's what I like doing. I like
Okay,
being
yeah,
that
you're just
bridge in between,
explaining
like
it in very simple terms. Cool.
explaining what. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah,
like
we're
this.
we're all the
Honestly, I
DJ and
like this.
L3.
I like the ability to just say whatever and people tune into Ohnahji's stream if they're new. He can explain everything. Tune into my stream if you
I
want me
care.
to answer your questions. But I'll give a long-winded, complicated answer. So, people, Ohnahji, me, he's always active in the chats. I love that. I love that. It's good to see all the
And
people in
here
the
we are.
building. Shout out to Tojiushi. How do you pronounce that? Tojushi?
Wow, Tojeshi. That's
Tojeshi?
Tojeshi in the building. Yep.
Okay,
Shout
okay,
out to
I
the
got it. I got it.
Burberry
All right,
clan.
Tojeshi. That's
She's a
it.
dope mod. And
And
then
I see Rex in the
yeah.
building as well. That's awesome.
Yep.
There's viewers on X too.
Rek Moski, am I muted? No, I'm good. Rek, he won one of the giveaways for the Onajis, and so did EZinCrypto. So I added two
What?
new. So yeah,
Wait, Easy didn't
yeah.
have an
That's the stream
Ohnajji?
you missed. That's the
That's.
stream you missed.
Oh my god.
No,
Today?
dude,
Today?
Yeah, this
I was
morning.
today.
Yep.
Dude, so check it out. I was doing my homework and I was like, oh, I need to grab the link for Onaji's Twitch to put it onto like the unlock and stuff, right? And then so
And
when I
he's
open
live?
up Twitch and I'm like Onaji and it pops up and it's like live and I'm like, oh damn, he's live. I'm gonna just jump in and see what's going on. And then like hung
No
out for a bit
way.
and then he's like, well, we're gonna spin the wheel and give away some Onajis. And I was like, ooh, I'm kind of feeling
Okay.
lucky. And then it hit.
I had
So
this topic
yeah.
on here. We gotta give a big congrats to my guy, Ohnahji, for becoming a Twitch affiliate. Let's go. That's also the other big news that happened this
Let's
week.
go.
And it's a
Yes.
great time to pull
Yes.
that up. That's sick. Well, how do you do the
Philly
giveaway?
gang. Oh, I just did a wheel. But it's
Oh,
I gotta
that's
transfer
so who
those
was it?
over
Was
on.
just whoever was live in
Yeah.
there?
No. Well, yeah. So I did initially. It was on all the other socials. I put it on Farcaster. I put it on Twitch. I even put it or Twitch. I put it on
Oh,
Twitter,
so I only
Spill,
saw it
everything
on
wherever. Yeah.
Threads, somehow Instagram on Threads. I didn't see it on anything else.
You should have commented. You should have
I don't
commented.
have
Oh, you did. You
Threads.
did. But it was. What do you mean you don't have Threads? You got
I
Instagram. You got
commented on your
Threads.
story.
Oh my
But that's
goodness.
not what it said.
No.
It said Threads. So I was like, it's too late. Also, it was the next day.
Yeah.
But
So
I
yeah, it
think
was
it was
on. It
before
was
you
on all
started
the socials.
streaming, technically, which is too bad.
Oh,
But that's
well,
okay.
it's not.
I saw it on
But
Farcaster, but I was late to comment on
oh
Farcaster because he was already
yeah.
live. But
So
then
you
I
were
jumped
there
into
for the live
live, and
one.
that's how
Wait,
I got in the
was there
second
two
round.
different wheels, or both
Yeah,
the same wheel?
I cleared it out and I put the chat in. Yep.
Okay. Wait, so you won the chat
So
one, or Rec
yeah,
won the chat one?
both. So I spun it a couple times because there was
Wait,
like
so who else won?
8 people, or no, there was like six, just those two. Oh no, that's not true. Alex won one too.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
you
the
mean
thing.
and then
So
from like the Twitter and
now
the
we
other
gotta
stuff?
onboard
Yeah,
Rec and Alex into what blockchain really
exactly.
is, and
They
like
gotta
not just when you
they
pop
gotta
in
have a
here,
wallet.
but you're. Oh yeah, I guess they
Exactly.
gotta. Yeah, that's. So you asking
Yep.
them to get a
That's the
family
flow.
wallet? Is that the alpha?
Probably. What are your thoughts so far? It's all right.
I didn't play
You probably
around
got a
with it enough
workflow that's
after
like,
I couldn't
oh,
figure
okay,
out how to
yeah.
do the thing, and then I copied my address. I sent money in, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just send like $100 on base and like use it as a hot wallet and start trading." And then I was like, "Okay, I've heard about Aerodrome. Type it in, try and search. Could not figure it out. First off, did not look like I could find the liquidity pools that I was looking for, and it was making me put in
Oh,
both assets to make the liquidity pool. I was like, this is not what I'm used to. But I digress.
yeah,
So
interesting.
I could toss it into something else in a DeFi in a thing that I do know, but I just kind of put it aside for now. I need to play around with it. I want to just make a video. I think that's the move, and just try
What?
it and really play with it.
Or
Oh wait,
just stream it, and clip it. Like that's what I'm gonna start doing. That's the easiest like
Okay, yeah,
workflow
that's
when
a
I
good
need to
plan.
record video now. Just
Yeah,
stream it
yeah,
and clip
yeah.
it.
I missed I missed. Wait, what wallet or platform? I
It's
missed that
called
somehow.
Family Wallet. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, Ohnahji texted
Yeah,
it to me. That's
family
why.
wallet.
I'm
It's
not familiar with it
I'm
yet.
not
it's oh
either.
my God, it's a sleeping
That's what I'm
giant. It's
saying.
so
Like
it's
that Ohnahji
it's
knows
tied
these
to
Dang,
random ass
on in my
things.
list.
That's why I'm
well,
Dang.
saying the
that's because
alpha's
like
here.
Oh man.
that's just the network. I'm connected with so many people that I'm like, okay, what are you building? I know a
That's
couple
true.
people, like I'm like two things removed from somebody that works there. She was
Nice.
doing with Lens, she was doing
See,
like
that's why.
the community lead or whatever.
It's the people in your
Oh,
Exactly.
community that
okay.
know what are actually happening with like someone that's on a
So
team that can
Exactly.
like really like that's when you get really good things because it's projects that
Right.
yeah.
like no one could bet on it because it's a tech concept. So it's like just understanding it and like getting it from someone that's on the team and like getting it from like what the core is, what the ethos of what they're building and like just like seeing that and then also seeing a person grow and a company grow together and like also that being someone within your community, all those things are huge. So I can totally see that. Okay, I'm gonna definitely play
Well,
around with it more now.
Yeah.
you
No, it's
you
dope. So
mentioned
like
Aerodrome.
it's owned by Avara. They're the parent company behind Lens Chain and yeah, and Lens Chain. So they're building, yeah. Yeah. They that's a sore subject for me right now,
Wait,
but
what lens?
they're
I've had some
yeah.
issues
No,
with keeping it
Orb
bad.
specifically.
Oh,
Nilish,
I
the
hated
dude, the
Orb.
CEO, I loved it. I loved it. It's
Huh.
cool. I mean, the communities on there were kind of not great, but the app itself was brilliant.
Wait, well, we might be talking about different orbs. The orb for lens?
Yeah. You didn't like it at all? What did you not like about it?
Maybe I was on it
I
earlier. I
didn't.
don't know. It was terrible. I couldn't upload
I just
shit.
didn't use it much. It seemed
Oh,
cool, but
really?
I just
I
didn't have
got
time
tons of
for it.
stuff uploaded
My
on there.
my video
Videos,
my
like,
video and photos are not we're glitching out.
really? Because it's all,
Okay,
well,
I don't have it
yeah, it's all
anymore on my
connected in
phone.
that chain.
Yeah, okay. I don't
I'm
Um,
know.
trying to think of.
it's,
We're talking
I
There
mean,
about
was a. Well, there's a lot of platforms because Lens is, like
exactly.
a protocol. So I remember having some issues logging into a few that I really wanted to get into, but like I was in
Right.
that cycle where like you log in and it's like your name comes up, it's all EZinCrypto, but then it's like you can't verify or something, and you're like, man, I just
Man,
want to share this thing on here, but I can't get it.
that's
Well,
crazy.
yeah,
I tried all like a bunch of them, even the ones that are gone and dead now. I still got some of the apps on my phone, and I never had any problems like logging in.
okay.
So,
I
dang,
think
yeah,
uh
I'm cursed.
I think I got a little inspired from you, B, today, and
okay, okay.
I'm feeling we don't got a lot of people here. I'm willing to give away one of my own Najis because I got a bunch,
Oh, snap.
and
Let's
I
go.
think we do a little
Yeah,
giveaway
who's
with the
the
folks that are here because I know we got at least Candy and Tojeshi, so it might be just between the two of them, and I think neither of them have it. So if anyone else wants to chat, I saw we had Gabe in earlier. If anyone wants to give in a little chat on the Ohnahji B stream as well, maybe in the next, we'll probably do it in 3 minutes and then call the stream as we do it.
And
Um, what's
Sick.
up?
while you're setting this up, you mentioned, I think I'm thinking it's in the family wallet that you were maybe going to do some staking. You mentioned Aerodrome because on with the Degen staking, you get
Oh yeah, I completely forgot
Aerodrome
Degen.
reward.
I need to figure out. Okay, easy. How do you have your allocation? What do you have it on your wallet that's on Farcaster, or do you have it on a separate wallet and connect that into Farcaster?
No, okay, so I have two things. I provide liquidity on Beefy, which I
Oh,
don't
okay,
really
so you have
love.
to do that.
The
Oh,
Oh, I
let's
use Beefy. I
it's a little
actually
bit
love the UI of
complicated.
Beefy. I'm not gonna lie. Beefy is
Yeah,
so nice
so
and
so
easy to
I
use. I tried Beefy. I've tried VFAT. VFAT was so frustrating for me. So I very much like the like you. Beefy is like very nice and simple, and like I can
it's
just
fairly
click
it
sort by absolutely ridiculous things, put it in for a day, and just like test things out. And I think that like made me learn so much more about liquidity pools. And that was huge. But I was putting like $5, $20 in, right? Like something I could afford to lose, right? Like, and I knew was just like a test to see like when does this go to zero is a thought, but also like how does this asset work, right? And I really like Beefy for that. It was good and simple and plain. Like you could see
good.
how much you were supposedly going to be making in a day. You would see like how much your P and L was. total, and like you could see how much yield each asset had given. So I liked it a lot.
It's a decent
Oh,
layout.
Prism's here too. Fire.
Like I've done I've done a lot of like liquidity
Oh
providing in the
shit. Should
past,
I
and
do
I
that?
was a little bit confused the first time because I was like, yo, I put in like WETH and Degen,
Mm-hmm.
but it was set up so that you just put in one or the other and it like converts a portion. And
That's
so I'm
cool.
like, what the fuck is going on here? And but it is set up so you could do it really
Are we talking
easy.
about Degen
And
right
so
now?
yeah,
The Degen liquidity. Where is
yeah,
that?
so I was so I forgot that the lockup for your allowance is not on Beefy. That's just another pool that I had like put some in
Oh,
to
so
get
that's not the
rewards and
lockup
whatnot.
for
So
allowance.
no, so there's a whole nother site I'm trying to remember. It's just what is it? Let me just see if my computer will work well enough at the moment to where I could pull it up. It's just like degen something rewards. Um, uh, Degen Chain Ridge, just home, just degen.tips. I think it's just degen.tips is where you go to do the
Okay.
lockup for your daily allowance. So 10K gets you like 60 and 20K gets you like 107 or whatever. Those are just round. But if you put in 20K, you get over 100 degen a day for your allowance. But
Okay.
I had thought that my lockup allowance was the stuff I had on Beefy because I forgot about the other site because I had done it so much before. Like I locked it up for like a year and then I forgot where basically. And I was like, oh, my allowance ran out. And people were like, yeah, you need to just, relock. And then I went to Beefy and I put in an extra 10K degen thinking that was what was going to give me my allowance, not remembering. Because, like, dude, I have stuff on too many platforms. And then I was like, man, my allowance isn't coming back. And then I like realized like, oh, damn, that's actually just for like adding LP and getting some
I
rewards. And then
see.
I remembered I gen.tips and locked up another
Okay, so
10K there.
Degen,
So I have
and but
20K.
like, but
And
getting
then,
that to connect with your Farcaster UI, you just connect your personal wallet in, right?
I used a verified wallet. Yeah. Yeah. A verified Farcaster wallet is what
Oh,
I
so
used
you,
to do the lockup.
how did you do that though? Like,
Not my Farcaster wallet because
okay,
that
okay.
was that was going on before they even had a Farcaster wallet, right?
Mm.
So the
Yeah, because I
Farcaster
saw that
wallet
way
is
back
newer
when,
than
but
the
I
lock.
didn't do it, and I totally should have then. I recently bought the allocation, but I bought it in my Farcaster wallet
But
instead of
you
my
can,
personal wallet.
like, I would recommend
Yeah,
just
yeah, no, I'm
using
gonna
your
switch.
Farcaster
I
wallet
know.
because
That's what
it's
I.
available
So
there.
yeah. Anyways, that's cool. I'm gonna set that up so I can start tipping that once a day. That'd be really cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to rock it off here. I got three people in my wheel, so you got a 33% chance of winning either Prism, Candy, or Tojeshi.
Yes.
So we're gonna spin up the wheel and then we're gonna end the stream and get it to the person. Okay.
Dub
It
Toach,
looks like it's
you might
dropping
be in
off
here. Good time.
Tojeshi is looking on it. Yep, it
Oh,
is.
oh, no
Let's
way.
go.
What?
I love that.
Okay, Dub.
Well,
Toach.
Prism,
You're in
if
there
you
now.
don't have an Ohnahji or Candy, reach out because we should definitely get you guys an Ohnahji and get you guys
Yes, for sure.
in the community. Get a dope one. We gotta like find a
Nah,
good
And
community
thank
too. I
you.
gotta start minting a
I'm gonna
couple
be
more.
giving away a bunch. You said what?
I gotta
You
mint a
gotta
couple more.
multiple
Just get a
some
couple
more?
random guys. I also like. We need to figure out what your collection is, and I need to find one that I can sport as my PFP at some point as well. Because
Yeah.
one of my like steps in the next little bit is to like have a list of all of those like good PFPs that I have in like one of each collection. So like I have to pick a Raver, I have to pick an
Oh,
Ohnahji, and I have like a couple others that I have a bunch of. But um, yeah, congrats to
heck
Jeshi.
yeah.
You got yourself an Ohnahji. Thank
Hey.
you everyone for joining us on this shortened and set up a little later episode because of technical difficulties, but I had a blast. Do you guys want to leave us off with something?
Um, I mean, just hey, if you have any, no question's a bad question. The chat was going ham. Thank you guys for being active. But yeah, I know it's like we're speaking a foreign language, and that's been a real big thing for me early on. Is like people have no idea what we're talking about. We're rattling off all kind of different things and all kind of coins and ecosystem and platforms and new socials and all kind of stuff. Now we're tying in AI into it and blah blah blah, mobile first. But if you guys have, yeah, if you have any questions about anything of any of this, definitely tap in, reach out to us. That's one of the things I love doing is just breaking down uh, all of these terms and all of these, how we're growing this ecosystem. I love breaking it down because that helps us learn it as well too when we're talking it out like that. So no question's a bad question. And if you ever want to talk about nerd out on some emerging tech stuff, these three guys right here, reach out to us for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I want to echo that because and my DMs are open on Twitter, what the underscore CBD. Hit me up anytime with a question or you want to bounce an idea off me or something. I just was thinking when you were saying that, like if I heard myself speak like 6, 7 years ago, and I was like, yeah, I locked up the Degen on the beefy, and like it'd be like, what? You're just speaking words in a weird order, and some of them are made up.
Facts,
Like none of that makes sense. So
facts.
I remember the early days and like being like, yo, what is this and what is that? So I can at
Yeah,
least understand some of what you're talking about.
yeah,
And then you just over time you start absorbing it. You're asking questions. You learn this, you learn that, and then all of a sudden you're the one telling somebody else like, oh, this is da 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 da.
Prism
But yeah, it takes.
did join the giveaway by his comment, but I didn't actually read it. So I also do want to mention before we end off here that the MIDI punks are creating the biggest Web3 collab song and also the Guinness Book World Record holding song right now. So I hope you guys both have like
Oh, I got a
artwork
line
MIDI
in there.
punks. You just recently got yours, I think, easy. And Ohnahji, if you don't have one, we
Yeah,
gotta get you
yeah,
one.
I'm holding. I'm on the
right.
track. I'm on the
Because
track.
the coolest thing they do is they have a family tree. So like whoever you onboard is like under you. So like you get a fun name, you got to add your PFP, and then it's this huge document of all these people. And I still think Easy you should be under me. I don't know if you are or not. I don't think you are. Song he
Oh,
keeps on not
I'm
adding
not
people
sure
under me,
where.
but I totally am onboarding. By the way, Prism, that's my
I
gripe.
should be under
You
you.
gotta you gotta you gotta solve that. Let's get all these people under me. I want to showcase it.
That's
Uh,
funny.
but yes, we gotta get you over there because they have a really cool game, which is awesome, and that's how a lot of their songs are integrated. We have our ZAO song with them, which was phenomenal, and was a super blast. And then we also created Zalora, which I believe you minted one, which was really cool. That's out there. That's an NFT that Prism has created with MIDI Punks. That's really cool. It's a ZAO personification in the MIDI Punks universe, and you can customize it. We each have our own, and it's really cool because we each have multiple as well because Prism set it up so that different members of the ZAO could get multiple as they have been here for a while. So like that's been amazing. So yeah, shout out to the MIDI Punks.
Yeah,
Episode 6 in the
definitely.
books. A little bit of technical difficulties. We're in different places, but yeah, we'll try something and be here potentially. I may not be here next week or the week after. I still need to figure out everything that's happening. I'm switching over to a night shift, um, but
Oh,
the week after might work, and I think. I digress. I need to figure that out, but it might be these two handsome gentlemen
well,
with you guys next week.
we
Sounds
will
good.
we can hold it down. And then also, if anybody's out there in your getting, and maybe after this I'll share it on Twitter. I know who was it? I think it was Siga
Oh, you
Inventando
should share
mentioned
it
there
on
was 13
Onaji's
players
chat because it's a really
Yeah,
easy to
I
get a POAP to your or an unlock protocol to your
let
email.
me Yeah, I was having a hard time with just internet connection. Let me jump in there real quick before we close down. And what I wanted to say was that now that we have the collection set up, like it'll be the same web page every week
Okay,
to
so
be
now
able
I
to
can
go
change
and
that to
claim it.
the Let's Talk About Web3 link as well for the link that we have and everything.
Man, this is
Cool,
taking forever to load. I'm trying to get into Ohnahji's chat right now. Come on, baby.
cool, cool, cool. Well, thanks
But
everyone for
yeah, and
joining in.
also
We had
thank you
a
for
we had an awesome group of folks tapping in. I've been tapping in with Ohnahji's chat. You know what would be cool is if we could combine our chats, because then me seeing the questions would help me. Like I kind of do
Dude,
wish I had seen some of the questions to like gear a little bit less and more towards our audience currently, because that would help. But I appreciate all of you guys for asking the amazing questions, because we're always here to do that and try and answer them. So maybe that's one of the tech things we figure out in the next couple weeks. But yeah, thanks for joining in. Episode 6 in the books, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
peace.